Hey guys, I don't usually make videos like this, but here we are, I guess. And in today's video, I'm going to be building this Minecraft house that is behind me right now. And I'll be explaining my thought process throughout the whole time lapse. Please subscribe. Alright, so first you can see me laying out this sort of stone brick type of foundation. And then I add the bridge which goes across, and I added some extra detail to the railings that wasn't there before, because I was making it way bigger than it actually looks in the photo. Then I start building underneath the water, and then I add all these like plants. It has almost like dead grass, it looks like, or like yellowy grass, so I made sure to add a lot of that around the bridge. I added some drip leaves in the front. It actually looks exactly like drip leaves in the photo, so I added drip leaves, but then I decided that I should add more plants around it anyway, even though it's not exactly original to the photo. And then I started like texturing the stone wall, and then I was adding more greenery on the top, because there is some greenery on the surface of the wall. And this right here is actually the first build of the house. This is where the house itself starts taking shape. And then I realized that there was a stairway there, so I had to break the wall and slide it all back one block anyway. And then here I'm adding the door, that little round arch that's on the top of it. I spent a while on this window, but I eventually decided that I was just going to go simple with it and move on. I started adding some plants in the front of the house. And I also added a bunch of leaves on the ground. And on the side of the house, I added these plants. Now on the left side of the house, I built this sort of deck thing because I couldn't actually see from the photo how far back the land itself goes, so I just added a deck. Then I started making the beginnings of the second floor, and you can see me like digging out the inside to make sure that I can make the interior. I started adding windows, which that window design that I made first, I ended up changing it anyway. You can see with the second window I changed it. You can see me adding another window, and then there's some greenery on here, so I added more greenery around this one. And then I started building the roof, which it has a pretty normal, average roof shape, I'm not gonna lie. Now I started experimenting with details, how to make it look like this house is really full of detail, because I made the house much bigger than I needed to. I needed to fill out all that empty space. You can see me adding this window, which, even though I added a bunch of plants, you can see on this part it looks pretty bland anyway, so I ended up deciding to add a part that covers the front of it. And now we're working on the interior, which, I mean, it's pretty bland, I'm not gonna lie. You can see me digging out the floor to add the carpet. I mostly just placed a bunch of random blocks around just to fill up the space. This is more like an attic. And then I started the second floor. This is where the bed is. You can see I had a trapdoor, so the beds are still usable. I kind of divided off this section. I'm adding a bookshelf, put some candles on top. Doesn't seem like a smart idea to put candles on wood. Now we have this little sectioned off area. This was pretty quick to make. now we're working on the first floor, which I really like these arches that I added. I feel like they just look really nice. And on the other side of the room, I kind of started this like dining room sort of thing. You can see me adding a bunch of chairs and then one very big chair. I don't know, I was a little lazy with it, but I mean, it turned out okay.